Everything is proceeding as I have foreseen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Contiengecy Plan Podcast. My name is Jedi Master David, and with me, as always, is Darth Austin.
Hello, everyone.
Well, everybody, it's that time to do a little bit of a celebration recap. So we're now a few days removed here on a Friday. Well, we actually got back Monday night. We didn't stay Monday night through to Tuesday, but so yeah. That's what we're going to talk about. Well, I know you have a lot to talk about. What do you got to talk about?
My 30th sickness of the year already.
Well, let's do a little Jedi Council real quick here before we start talking about what happened at Celebration. So yeah, how's it going this week?
Oh, not too bad. How about you?
Oh, fine. You know, like I said, did Celebration last week. Yeah, no, just trying to get back into work. I actually took Tuesday off, so I went back in Wednesday, and it was kind of a struggle.
I bet.
Kind of a struggle getting back into work, if we're being honest.
How many days off was that? 5?
Well, it would have been, what?
You take Friday off
6 days
week?
straight.
Yeah, you would have taken Friday off. Would you leave Thursday night?
No. I'm actually, it was Wednesday to Wednesday, so it was 9 days.
Oh, that's way too much.
No, I liked it.
Well, I'm saying
to get fun.
Getting back into the swing of things, that's got to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. I mean, my idea was that so we were going to originally. I think the idea was. I don't even remember what the original idea was, but basically what it wound up being is I took Wednesday off to make sure I had everything packed correctly and had everything going. And then, so then Thursday morning, because I had the VIP passes, I wanted to get there early so I could do all that VIP stuff, which we'll talk about. So we actually wound up leaving from my buddy's house at maybe 3:34 a.m.
And you flew, I'm assuming, right?
No, we drove. No, it was a little over 5-hour drive. So that's well within the acceptable range of driving.
Yeah,
I've driven up to 10 hours. Getting past that's a bit of a drag.
It is,
honestly. So no, we drove and made one stop type of deal. And, then got there. I got dropped off as they went to the hotel.
probably flipping you off the entire time.
Well, maybe. Yeah, they just got the 5-day passes. So the whole VIP thing. Monday, the actual first day, I didn't mean to say Monday. The first day was actually, got off to a kind of a rocky start, if we're being honest with each other. So I got there 8:45-ish maybe. Got into the VIP room.
But you get to go in 1 hour early or a half hour early?
Well, I think you can get into the place an hour early, but onto the actual expo floor a half hour early. And then basically all the panels were a little later in the day. But so got there, got in the VIP area. This is reasonably okay to find my way there. So the whole thing was that you could get in early to the store. And there were a couple T-shirts that I was looking at. And I was like, okay, so I'll do that and, whatever.
Pretty limited quantity, I'm sure, as well. So.
Well, yeah, I'll get to that too. Here's a whole story here. This is going to be a long one. So just for some reason, a line forms. I don't know, 2 hours before we were even able to go to the store. So just a line forms. So well, okay, I'll get in this line. And Eventually, we went upstairs, 3th-floor convention center, big convention center too.
What were the people in that line like? Were they the awkward super nerds, or
it was a good mix of people. I think it was a little mix of everybody, really. So we wound up getting up there to the store, and bear in mind, I don't know who started the line, I don't know who moved the line, but I feel like it was just people, because like the staff the first day was basically garbage. Right. And no disrespect to them, I just don't think that they knew what they were doing, or I don't think they were told what they were doing. So then we stood in another line upstairs near the store, and finally, I want to say, so we'll just call it 9:00, maybe 9 to the floor. The actual expo floor on the first day didn't open up until 1, so about 9 to 11, we stood in a line in front of the store. The store was supposed to open at 11. Well, it didn't. We didn't wind up getting into it probably until about 11:45 noon.
And was that with everyone else, or were you still the first in?
No, it was still the first in. Okay. And then they were only letting so many people in at a time. So then there was a queue. Yeah. So then I finally got in, and there were people behind me. There was this little family of 3, and it was like I don't know, the kid, the guy's son was probably, I don't know, he might have been a little younger than I was, but with his somewhat older parents. And they were like strategizing, like, you go for the pins, you go for the shirts, you go for the whatevers. And I was like, this is way too
And they spent
crazy.
$2,700 to do that.
We'll get to it in the story. No, so I just go for the shirt. So I got a standard Celebration t-shirt. I didn't bring any of this stuff with me. I got off work and just came down. Oh. So Celebration t-shirt, you'll just have to come up for the next podcast. And then I got this kind of neat, it had the Rebels the Rebel insignia, kind of looked like a Captain America shield.
Oh, cool.
And they did that in Imperial and Rebel. I got the Rebel one. The shirts were all really nice quality too. And then the one I really wanted was it was like the Millennium Falcon pizza delivery. So it had a little patch on the front, but in the back it had the full-size Falcon and then a bunch of script. Yeah. That's the one I wanted because I just thought, yeah, that's cool. They also had like a Boba Fett coffee shop one that I kind of thought about. But so first impression, store, really kind of tiny. Big area, not a ton of different stuff.
Spread out pretty.
Yeah, thin. But I mean, so they did like custom print T-shirts as well, which technically I got a voucher for, but I never used it because I just wasn't interested. They didn't have any like posters in there, and at least not that I saw.
Really?
They had a lot of little tchotchkes and stuff, which I'm not interested in. Again, I was into my T-shirt, my 3 T-shirts, and I was pretty good.
So was it basically Hot Topic?
No, not quite.
A lot of little trinkets and a ton of shirts.
Yeah, I guess kind of in a way. There a lot of people were going for. They had like a custom pair of. They look like Converse All-Star Star Wars custom shoes that a lot of people were going for, and then some of the jackets and the jersey style, like they were like hockey jersey style shirts that people were going for. I know the Ahsoka like Tano shirts were really popular. Mm-hmm. So anyway, then comes to another line. The checkout line. And this is where the real fun this is where the fun begins. Okay? Because so here you have like 40 lines, like 40 checkout points.
Oh wow.
And they're all on iPads with like those little tiny dinky scanner tools that look like it came out of the old checkout set you used to have as a kid, like the plastic checkout set. And
super, generation whatever we're in.
Yeah, I guess.
Scanner.
So all of it went down. They weren't able to check anybody out. There was an issue. The first issue was that with the VIP pass, you got 10% off everything in the store. Mm-hmm. So apparently they'd scan stuff and then they'd go to get your badge, and then it would clear everything out. So the system was completely messed up. And then eventually the system just went down.
You couldn't even do cash because you wouldn't get your discount.
Well, see, here's the thing. A lot of people were like, I don't even care about the discount. Just let me pay cash. It's like, we can't even take cash. Because they couldn't. because they wanted to ring stuff up and they couldn't manually input anything in. And then the kicker is that certain items were not even in the system, which included my Millennium Falcon shirt.
Oh, so they didn't even know what to charge you.
Well, everything was standard price. Yeah. Like all the shirts were $27 a piece. Okay. So, but
that's not bad for a high quality shirt.
No, and they were nice shirts, but and again, I don't really want to rag on them, but they clearly didn't test it.
Weren't ready for this.
They weren't ready. They didn't test it. The people that were up there were inept, and then they had one IT guy that literally had to go to every single register to fix the issue.
And yours was the last one.
Well, no, I was sort of in the middle. There were guys that were standing up, and admittedly, I stood up there way too long. Okay, I should have just checked out and got out. So my experience was basically a line from about 9 o'clock to a little bit before 1 when the show floor opened.
Wow.
So I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
It was hot. And for some reason, it was like really hot in there. So I had like a Gatorade and some snacks and stuff. So I wound up having to like rehydrate, get that Gatorade going. I was getting a little lightheaded. I was a complainy guy over here, but no, it was just really bad. And there were a lot of people that, just were like, screw it. They put their items down on the floor. They got out of line. I actually caught up with one of the guys a little later at a panel. I was like, so did you get your shirt? Cause the whole thing was like his wife, had left to go get in another line for the show floor. And he had like the pair of shoes and a shirt for her. And I remember turning to him and he got on the phone and he's like, how bad do you want this shirt? And then he was like, you know what? It's not worth it. And he just put it down and walked off. He had a nice, brilliant mustache. That's why I remember him. But I talked to him and his wife a little bit, in a couple panels. We all tended to run into each other either in the VIP room or somewhere else. So, but yeah, there were a lot of really angry people. There was some weird cutting in line and stuff, and the staff wasn't really managing lines very well. And it was not a great first start.
Was that the only time you went to the store after that?
No, I never went back. I didn't need to.
Well, if you got everything you needed, I mean, it's not like they're gonna change.
There wasn't anything else that I wanted. I did get up and like there were some people behind me. It was like, oh my God, he's only got like 3 items. He'll get through. And then when I finally got through, it's like everybody who got through got like a round of applause. There are people that were literally like spending $200, $300, $400, $500, like handfuls of stuff. And another friend of mine, she got like somewhere in the range of like $250 worth of stuff, but basically she wound up leaving. She was like, hey, can you just like hold this stuff in the back or whatever? And they're like, okay. And she came back a little later and they only charged her for like less than half.
Really?
Because they were just so ridiculous. And the kicker is,
it would have been nice for the husband to know that.
Well, this was another one. So kicker is, I still didn't get my 10% off.
You still never got it.
I didn't look at it until I got back to the room that night, and I was like, "Yo, those SOBs didn't give me my 10% off."
Was it a substantial amount? I mean,
you got to think about it. So like $27 a shirt, so it's $270 a shirt.
3
Yeah, I got 3.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's money,
Yeah,
and I don't like to leave money on the table. But after that, I didn't care. So then I went into the show floor after that.
With all the common people at that point.
Well, I gotta say, the show floor was awesome. Big show floor. We didn't really even get through everything. The decision was made that we wanted to buy the stuff we wanted the first day. Mm-hmm. So, and also because it was a very limited time that first day, so we didn't have to truck it around all day long, and we could just take it back to the room that night and be done with shopping. Yeah. And then could literally just enjoy everything else.
Because there was no merchandise on the show floor at all, correct? It was all mitigated to
No. It was the show floor was full of stuff.
Okay.
That's where all like the artwork was, and so the first thing I wanted to do was get my prints. Mm-hmm. Now, as I texted you on the final day, I didn't find the guy I wanted to find until the last day. He was like,
you had your Luke and Falcon prints from? Yeah.
So he was tucked in a little space, and I just didn't see him. And initially, he wasn't even at the booth. when I finally passed him, it was his wife, and I just happened to notice the Padme print that he did from last year. And I was like, "Wait a minute, this is that freaking guy."
Signed from me.
Well, I was like, "Oh my God, I found you!" And she was like, "Oh, we've been here." It's like, "Well, I couldn't find you." And they had one of the Falcons that I wanted, the last one.
Really?
I bought the last one on the last day.
Full size, right?
Oh, yeah, the full size.
Cool.
They unfortunately didn't have the other one that you were wanting, but I was able to, place an order. It'll be here in a couple weeks. It'll be to the P.O. box in a couple weeks, and then I'll bring it to you. But really, really nice people. I was glad that I got to find them. But anyway, on the first day, I hate that I didn't think about this enough to look up their names. So my one buddy bought this one artist, her R2 that she made for the last celebration in 2017, and for this year she had this Yoda. And it was kind of green themed, so it was in the swamp on Dagobah.
Print as well, or an
what's
actual
that?
Print or
no,
painting?
It's a print.
Okay.
She had paintings and stuff there too. Also, her father, they shared a booth, and he did some really cool stuff as well. He had a neat, real sweet Luke that was like $130 something bucks. My other buddy Mike was thinking about buying, but he just didn't want to lay down the cash. So anyway, so it's Yoda up on like this log, kind of like looking up, and like the sunlight's kind of coming down. And there's like little fireflies or midichlorians, depending on how you want to look at it, just surrounding him. And then in the background, you see Luke and R2 looking at the X-wing as it's kind of sinking into the swamp.
Oh, nice.
So it was a super cool print, and I didn't even know it until I got it home. It was not only signed, but it was also limited. So it was numbered.
Oh, really?
So it was out of 250, and it was signed. And I didn't know. I didn't know it was signed and numbered.
Are most of his stuff
Well,
signed,
this is a
numbered,
different one. This is a different lady who did it. I was going to try and look them up. But yeah, I mean, not all of them are going to be signed. This was just, I guess, her limited run for this show.
Cool.
Let's see. I really should have looked her up before I started saying something. I totally whiffed on it. Maybe I'll think about her name here as we go. But anyway, very cool print. Very happy to get that. I'm trying to think, what else did I get any more? I don't think I got any more prints. I think I bought just those two for myself. There was another one that was pretty cool. It's kind of like some of those like 1950s recruiting posters.
Yeah.
And they had one with like join the Rebels, join the Imperials, and one had X-wings, but one had A-wings, which are my favorite.
Oh, cool.
I almost bought that too. I probably should have, but I didn't. They had a lot of different art. Oh geez, I'm gonna sneeze, man.
Hate to see it. I feel like the Empire one would be cooler though.
Well, I like A-wings, so I'm just a big fan of A-wings. Let's see what else. I did get a Jaina Solo Black Series little figure.
Really? Nice.
On the last day, I found one of her. I don't really collect that kind of stuff, but I just thought it was neat that they actually made a Jaina, which was cool. Which is relevant to our normal reread series, which coincidentally, if you haven't noticed, we're not going to reread the book today.
Neither
just
of us
celebration.
brought our books, so.
Actually, mine is in my bag.
Oh, did you bring yours?
It's just in the bag. Yeah. But so let's see. I think that was really about it. We circled the floor, kind of figured out where things were at. They had one part which they called like the exhibition side or whatever. They had like this. I have pictures. Giant TIE fighter, which you could actually get in, cool. And an X-wing and an A-wing. Here, if there's the A-wing,
nice.
And then there's the. I know you guys can't see this at home, but I haven't.
That'd be fun to get in.
We haven't really. We haven't really looked at all the pictures.
I would have gone straight for the X-wing personally.
Yeah, the X-wing was super cool. Just a ton, just a
light
ton
up
of stuff.
or anything when you get in there, or is it just?
Yeah, no, they have lights, and I don't know about sounds and stuff, but I mean, some of them were lit and whatever. But it was cool. And then obviously a few of the cosplay groups, 501st Rebel Legion, had some set pieces and everything. Not a lot of cosplayers on the first day.
How was 501st?
They were well represented. There was actually this one. She I didn't get to see her, but I've seen a lot of people post. So husband-wife team, and the husband makes her this Phasma, like full-fledged with like battle damage on the helmet. And she kind of looks like the actress. I mean, she's got the short blonde hair and everything. But yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice. It was just, I'm pointing, trying to get the fan going. It's kind of warm in here, man.
Summer's around the corner. You know, winter is no longer coming.
Well, winter isn't coming. But
sorry, you made me think about it. Now that I'm thinking of I can't think of her name. Don't ask me.
Yeah, I can't remember the actress's name, but yeah, Brienne. Yeah. Her name is Brienne of Tarth. But anyway, no, that was a fantastic costume. There was also, I mean, a lot of the standards. A couple people I knew. Jamie did did her Chewie, and Doug did his Vader, and there was just a ton of stuff out there. So it was really, really cool to see everybody. But again, the first day wasn't so much. It got a little bit more intense as time went by, and then on the last day they did their big group photo, which just everybody showed up for that.
So I'm kind of curious, as far as cosplay goes, who was more represented? Original trilogy, prequels, or the new one?
Let me put it this way: there were a lot of Rays.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
There were a lot of Rays. No, I mean, there was a good amount of a little bit of everything. There was, I actually have a picture in here too. There was one of, I caught Snoke and one of the Praetorian guards. That was
nice.
That was pretty
See,
interesting.
He's still alive.
Still alive. Not anymore. I'm done with Snoke. We're good. We'll talk about that here in a second.
Yeah, we have no reason to worry about him anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, that was pretty much the first day. The only other side note is my God, the food in that convention center was ridiculous. So
good or bad?
It was pricey, very pricey.
Oh, I'm sure. I probably wouldn't have ate there.
Well, we were hungry.
Get a bottle of water even.
We were really hungry, and we went upstairs to the. This isn't Star Wars related, but it was just hilarious.
They're not talking about Star Wars.
It was hilarious to me. So we went upstairs to the upstairs. There was like several cafeterias in this place. So we went to the upstairs one, which was the busiest one because it was near the floor. And they had like a grill with burgers and hot dogs, and they had like a pizza thing. So we went to get burgers. And
was it like $10 a burger?
Well, it was a little more than that. Wow. So the funny thing was ran by these two ladies were up front, and they were just like, it was like classic, big city kind of like just rudeness. There were a couple people. So you got like a hamburger or you got a cheddar burger. There was no cheese choices. It was just like you got nothing or something. And I just remember this one lady. Well, what kind of cheese? It's a cheddar burger. It's a burger. It's got cheese on it. And they were not happy, but they also seemed to get started late. And I don't, again, it just wasn't the preparedness wasn't there. But yeah, I mean, I got a burger, a fry, and a drink, and I want to say it was like $25.
Good God. Wow.
It was bad.
Well, what other options do you have, though? They know they got you.
Yeah, so my whole thing was if I were going to eat anything there, I got like the cheapest thing, which was like a hot dog, and it was still like a $7 hot dog. I just brought snacks with me and everything, and kind of ate it at a set time, and maybe had a hot dog at one point. And then we went out and had a bigger meal afterwards. So yeah, that was pretty much day one. We got out of there, went back to the hotel, regrouped, kind of came up with a plan, and then it was basically panel time. Mm-hmm. For me, at least. Yeah. I didn't spend a heck of a lot of time.
Honest, that's what you went for, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't really spend a lot of time on the show floor, although the second day, so here was the other cool thing. I thought it was cool. So it was actually the only day that I took advantage of the getting on the floor early, because the Del Rey booth was giving, well, they weren't giving away, but they would give you a wristband, and if you went back during the day, you got it was a limited edition cover copy of Master and Apprentice, the new Claudia Gray book, autographed by her. She signed it on the inside.
Very
it had
nice.
a custom cover that was only for this show.
Cool.
So I definitely wanted to get that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually just finishing that up, the audiobook of it, which coincidentally, the guy who's doing it, he does a lot of really weird accents. He makes Mace Windu sound like a cowboy.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'm Mace Windu. Some of the voices he does are really crappy, but it does have ambient sound. So like when they say he clicks on his lightsaber to bzzz,
Oh, nice.
So that's kind of cool, but some of his voices just sound really unnatural. So that's the only thing I'm not really excited about. But anyway, so we will have to talk about that book, and you will have to read that book.
Yeah, we'll do a
because
review of it.
that is I don't remember how many years before episode 1, but it's basically young Obi-Wan apprentice with Qui-Gon. So it's a Qui-Gon Obi-Wan story.
Yeah, I read the first book. Or was there multiple?
No,
It's just the one?
This literally just came out this past week. It's a brand new book.
Okay, I'm sorry. The way you said that, it sounded like it was an older book.
Oh, no.
I thought you meant a re-release of it.
No. New book called Master and Apprentice.
Okay.
And it's basically like, so, hey, why didn't Qui-Gon join the Jedi Council?
Okay.
Some prophecy stuff.
Actually, I did see a couple debates on that.
Yeah.
You need
to read it, and I think we'll probably take some time to just do an episode strictly on that book, because I think it's worth it. So I did get in and
tell me which size book you got, so I get the same size. We don't have that issue.
I have
it's not a paperback.
I have the audio book for it, so I'm good with the audio book. Let's see. So then it was basically panel time. So let's talk about some of the panels. I won't really recap each day anymore, but let's talk panels. What's the biggest panel out there? Even though you weren't there.
No, go ahead.
He didn't have a panel. He did autographs. But
Oh, he didn't have a panel? I thought.
no, I mean he was in a panel, the episode 9 panel.
Yeah, true.
So let's talk episode 9. We're gonna do a little bit more in depth. I think review on that eventually.
Yeah, we need to.
But let's chat, because so first and foremost,
Why we don't care about Snoke anymore? Let's just get straight to the meme
let
potatoes.
me set the stage here. So the arena is where I want to is it? Oh crap! I mean, I'm crapping out on the team. They do a lot of basketball there, so it's an arena.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to say online it said the max capacity is like 10,000 people, but I think it's more realistically like 6 or something.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from a couple rows that for some reason they weren't filling, it was packed. Okay.
Sure.
I was maybe like 4th row from the front.
Was this a surprise at that point for the trailer, or was it?
Well, no, we all figured there should be a trailer, but it wasn't guaranteed.
Well, we had debated that beforehand, but
Yeah.
we were still a little on the fence on whether it would happen.
Well, I know, but it did. So out comes Stephen Colbert to host the show. I mean, he's a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
So Stephen Colbert, he comes out to a big pop. We had JJ and Kathleen Kennedy came out. And then, they sort of start parading out more of the cast. Anthony Daniels obviously had Billy D out there. And I don't know. I had this weird kind of feeling like, I don't know if they're actually going to bring anybody cool out. I just didn't feel like, I didn't get that vibe for some reason. I felt like they're not going to bring anybody cool out. So then here comes, Daisy and Kelly Tran and, John Boyega, and I can never remember the guy who plays Poe. I just don't remember his name. And
At that point, you just knew what was happening. Though.
right. And then the the new actress who's going to play a part. I can't remember her name either. See how good we are at this on the show. We're super
prepare
professional.
so well. Did they have Lord of the Rings?
What?
Don't they have someone from Lord of the Rings playing in this one as well? I believe they do.
Oh, you're talking about like Dominic Monaghan or whatever.
Wasn't he gonna be
Mary.
playing?
I mean, I think there's a part for him, but he wasn't
a part of this.
He wasn't in the panel. No, yeah,
Okay.
you're right. I do believe that he actually did have a part. Oscar Isaac, that's Poe.
I don't know why I can't remember that.
I feel kind of bad. I can never remember the name either. Was it Naomi? Naomi Aki, who is also there.
I believe we looked her up and couldn't.
We did.
We didn't recognize her from anything. Correct?
Yeah. We did talk about her beforehand, but yeah, no, she did come out as well. So, excuse me, Billy D got a huge pop. He's still as smooth as ever. Obviously, people went just nuts for the younger part of the cast, so to speak. Kelly Marie Tran got a lot of love for this panel, which was nice. And I know that there are some people out there who think it's kind of like pandering, but she didn't deserve the crap she got.
No, she really didn't.
And I think that there's definitely a way to progress that character. One of them, as I showed, is to get rid of the weird haircut. And I don't want to make fun of people's haircuts, but it was a weird haircut. And now they look like, at least from some of the stuff we looked at there, look like we're getting a little bit away from space hair and getting into like something normal. So she just looks like a normal part of the cast.
No Leia hair.
Well, hey man, cinnamon buns are cool and all, but yeah. See, there was one of the pictures, so it's just a little side sweeper there.
Yeah.
I'm a real authoritarian on hair, so.
That's good because I'm not.
Yeah, well,
I don't
I'm
know
not
much
either.
about it.
Hey, before we get in the trailer, I did want to mention something. Remember a few weeks ago when we talked about the fake movie poster?
Yeah.
Do you remember the slug thing that was on it? The yellow slug thing?
Please tell me it's not real.
Yeah. So they showed
I wish
it.
you guys could see this right now. I'm sure a lot of you.
Yeah, I mean, during they showed some stills and they brought out this yellow slug thing.
You'll have to pop that up for anyone who, for some reason, is watching this on YouTube.
Maybe, yeah. But I got to thinking about it. I was like, holy crap, man. It's not quite the same because the one they have on here kind of looks like Creature from the Black Lagoon, but I just started thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. That kind of looks like that thing that was on that fake poster. Yeah. So anyway, kind of neat. So let's just launch into the trailer. What was your initial thought about the trailer? Just initial thought. Thought. Your initial thought.
That was my initial thought. I about lost my
Well,
when that happened.
Here's the thing.
I mean, the rest was cool. It definitely had the original trilogy vibe to it, I thought. But that just set it over the edge for me.
Here's the thing. Watching it on stage. So they played it through. Mm-hmm. We were all going nuts. And then out walks Ian McDermott. Roll it one more time. Mm-hmm. And then they play it again. And I was going so crazy about the trailer, I almost didn't even notice him walking on stage until I heard him talk.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. I whipped out my phone to try and record it. I did record the trailer on my phone so I could watch it a few times before it actually got high quality on YouTube.
Did you get
I didn't get him.
Oh.
No. See, I was in the moment. I didn't take as many pictures as people like to think you take pictures because I was just enjoying myself.
Oh, yeah. It kind of takes away from it.
Yeah. So let's start on the trailer. First scene, we have Rey out in the desert. Yeah. And
you think it's Tatooine?
No, I don't think it's Tatooine. I think we're done with Tatooine. Yeah. But we have a TIE fighter, sort of a TIE, coming at her, and she does
closest to the ground I've ever seen a TIE fighter get.
And listen, they had the subwoofers blast in there. It was like the loudest freaking. As that finally came past the screen,
school sound effects on it.
It was
the
great.
Lightsaber was perfect. Yeah.
And she just does her little flippy thing and looks like she might try and cut it in half or something.
I hope that happens. But Kylo's in there, so that can't happen.
But is he? Is he in there? Is he?
Yes, the Emperor's in the TIE Fighter.
The Emperor's in the TIE Fighter. Oh, well, and I think they didn't show him.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously didn't show who was in the fighter, but that was kind of my gist as well. Was probably Kyle. I'm actually just popping it up here. So
when you think about it, it's actually a throwaway scene, so they didn't ruin any of the suspense of the
kind
movie.
of,
So
and
it was perfect. For
it also pops up. Every generation has a legend.
Yep.
Can't forget the script. I got a great shot of one of the cameras, one of the swing cameras coming through the frame on my video, so I can't post it to YouTube. And then start to go through some more scenes.
Monologue was great as well.
Well, we have kind of interesting little dark planet here with a ship flying at it, and then here's Kylo doing a little hilt saber kill on somebody. A lot of people were speculating about that. They're like, "Is that a Knight of Ren? Is he like turning?" Well, first of all, so he's running with the stormtroopers, and he just so happens to kill this guy with his stupid little hilt part. I don't know who that is, but guess what? He's dead.
Yeah.
And then the reforging of the helmet.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Hey, I want him
I
to
didn't like
be.
the helmet.
Vader had a helmet. Revan has a mask. He might as well.
See, I feel like they kind of stole Revan's mask on that. I wish it would have been more unique.
Quite
That's
the same,
all.
but I mean, my whole thing is like just be the bad guy, go back to the mask.
Yeah.
Then we have John Boyega.
He really does need a mask because he's so emo.
I don't know. He's fine. Then we have Poe and Finn just sort of chilling on a rock, doing some bro stuff. New droid. What was his name? Was it? Oh, Dio.
Yeah.
The little one-wheeled speaker thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what they were thinking. And then the cool part, you got Lando back in the pilot seat of the Falcon, going through
that got me excited.
hyperspace with Chewie, just laughing.
Yeah.
That got a huge pop.
Oh,
people love that crap. That was very cool. And then script, the saga comes to an end. Yeah. And there were people still up to this point. I was like, oh, the saga's forever.
It doesn't need to be.
No. And then we have a little chase scene here. Looks like Poe and Finn, and then C-3PO on this little speeder deal getting shot at. And then here comes something that we'll speculate on. I'm going to speculate on. We see the medal from New Hope. Someone's tenderly stroking the medal, and then the hug between Carrie, Princess Leia, and Rey.
Yeah, I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. What do you think?
Let's do this, and then let's go into it. I want to just do the entire thing, and we'll definitely get into it. And then we have this epic shot of all of our heroes, all the droids, Chewie in the background, and what? The Death Star? Maybe? Is it the first one? Is it the second one? Will we see Ewoks? Why is there water? So a lot of people are thinking it's probably back on Yavin 4, which would be cool with me. And then the title, The Rise of Skywalker, and then the evilest laugh in the entire galaxy.
See, I saw the title before I watched the trailer, so at first I'm like, oh, this is just a fake name. This isn't real.
That's it, man. That's what it is. The laugh, that probably sent everybody into as big a frenzy as you could possibly.
I'm sure.
Everybody just crapped their pants.
It's like a force storm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the trailer. Let's talk about the title. What do you think of the title? Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I mean, nowadays he kind of has to have a background. She can't just be.
But does she?
A new character.
Does she?
Somebody has to be a Skywalker.
Let me run this by you. There are a lot of very smart people out there at Celebration. So a friend of mine, Lindsay, who is a co-host of the Clashing Sabers podcast, which coincidentally also stay tuned for an exclusive drop that I'm going to, exclusive. I shouldn't have said that. It's not exclusive. It's going up on everybody's channels, but a drop of a really, really awesome fireside conversation that we had. It was, so I was there, Ez from Rebel Watch, Lindsay from Clashing Sabers. Then there was the boys from Sith Talk podcast, which is a part, I think they're under the Adapter Media is what you have to look up, and they're like an episode, like a show within that group. And then the Rule of Two podcast. So it was like this 5 podcast power talk. fireside thing. So something that Lindsay brought up, because she reads a heck of a lot more than most people. Very smart. So she brought up that that Skywalker in some of the stuff, the Chiss and like Thrawn and his that whole race of the Chiss and everything, refer to Force users as Skywalkers. Okay. So I have not read any Thrawn novels. I really need to. I just never have. Sorry. I can't read everything. I try and read as much as I can anyway. But when, you know, the whole thing with Anakin Skywalker, he never really called him Darth Vader. Okay.
Yeah.
And it was like a joke because, I mean, it's like, well, Skywalker is just basically a Force user. So her whole thing was that, well, maybe it's not the rise of a Skywalker. It's a rise of Skywalker as like meaning Force sensitive or Jedi in general. So that's like deep, sweaty lore that I wouldn't have thought about.
But is that just referring to Rey, or do you think that they might, start the next generation? Because
Broom
they
Boy
did have a little bit of that one.
Broom Boy, and he's just grabbing brooms out of midair. So
And he's not the only one.
yeah,
so.
whatever. I didn't really care for that anyway. But anyway, interesting. I think that I had heard that particular title beforehand, and I was like, okay, probably fine. Maybe Luke just reincarnates. He just comes back. I was going to say
maybe just as a Force ghost, he's teaching the next generation.
Who knows?
You know what? In the nerdiest part of my mind, I think that would be amazing.
Well, here's another thing I want to tap on a little bit here. So a lot of people have made peace with the Rey being nobody. I was uncomfortable with that because of how familiar Han was in episode 7 with her. It was like way too comfortable.
Yeah.
No one is that comfortable with a new person, no matter how you can fly the ship. And she just seems like way too knowledgeable herself.
Well, I think we all, at least we, wanted someone to replace Janna.
Well, here's the thing. Is she a solo Skywalker, or is she a solo and maybe somebody else?
Who knows?
I'm rooting for a solo. I'm rooting for another solo. But the thing is like you had that hug with Carrie, with Leia. And, you have that sequence of scenes. So first you show the medal, and then you show this hug. And it's like, I mean, was she...
It should mean something.
Was she Han's kid from a previous thing? Or I don't know how the timelines line up. Maybe she's really their daughter, and we'll just go with it.
There's a lot of speculation. I don't know what the timeline, but...
timelines.
Drawing a blank on her name, but his love interest in
Mara?
Solo.
Oh, Kira.
Yeah, Kira. There's a lot of speculation for that. I don't think the
timeline
would work with that because, she'd probably be a little older.
Maybe. Well, anyway, what else do you want to talk about in the trailer? Anything else pops out to you?
Yeah, no, not at all.
Not really?
No.
No, nothing?
You think Snoke's coming back? Because I really don't think he's coming back.
I think he's dead. So, actually, and then we'll wrap this up and move on to some other stuff. So...
The Emperor.
The Emperor?
Like, is he worth talking about?
Is he alive? Or is he...
Is it a droid? Is it a clone?
Is he
it the
holocron? What do you think? What do you think? What is he?
Well, there was a lot of speculation of having a Force ghost of Anakin and also Darth Vader, and which you can't really have a Force ghost of Darth Vader, but do you think they might have a Force ghost of Palpatine?
Hayden
Palpatine?
Okay.
Or do you think they're going to bring him back? I mean, what do you think's going to happen?
All right, let me ask you this question.
I kind of like that idea of a Sith holocron.
Well, hold on. Could Darth Sidious, could Emperor Palpatine fly?
I mean, he floats.
It was something that got brought up. Could he? Maybe he just flew out of the Death Star.
You know what? If Leia can,
Screw you, Vader.
if Leia can, I would think he'd be able to.
So, my answer is the title of this podcast. Because let's focus in. What happened? They went to the unknown region, which is a part of the Emperor's contingency plan with Admiral Sloane and everything.
We have something to do with this.
So I think he's more of like those one of crazy face turny droid things, imbued with
DNA,
his sort of essence or whatever. Yeah. Do I think it's the flesh and blood Emperor? Probably not. Would I freak out? Would I freak out if Ian McDermott? Well, I mean, he's obviously there, but would I freak out if he just walks out and just zaps somebody? Well, yeah, duh. Which coincidentally, Ian McDermott is hilarious.
Really?
I watched him on the episode 1, 20th year episode 1 panel. He is flipping hilarious.
How old is he now?
Well, here's the thing. So he was, what did he say? 36 when he did the original trilogy. Mm-hmm. So then when he played the Senator, so that's what? How many years later? The last one was 80?
25-ish?
Okay, so basically he's in it. We'll call it his 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rational.
Yep.
And then now, I mean,
so
you're talking
late 70s, 80s now.
So he's actually like it's
perfect
perfect
timeline.
It's perfect for him.
Yeah. It was all based on him.
Yeah, basically
every Star Wars movie
from the beginning.
On him.
So he's hilarious. But anyway, so that's kind of what I think. I think that I feel like JJ understands the lore. I think he understands the backstory. Want, yeah. I think he understands that the EU, the extended universe, is something that you have to tap into. And I think we're seeing a lot of that here. At least that's the hope, especially bringing back the Emperor. And the whole thing of just bringing back Darth Maul, which we can talk about a little later too. So anyway, I don't feel like it'll be flesh and blood now, but maybe if we get another trailer. To be honest with you, this is the only trailer I need. I don't want
to watch another trailer.
I don't need any more than this, to be honest. I think I'm cool.
I might just skip the trailers. Unless we have
hold
to.
on.
If we have to for the podcast.
If another one comes out, I am watching that bad boy right then and there.
But do you want another second of the movie to be spoiled for you?
Jeez, we're all just coughing. Well, I understand.
I want to go in as fresh as possible because that's what I did with Force Awakens, and it was amazing.
I understand.
I watched the original trailer, and that's it.
Right. But if one comes out, I'm watching it. There's no chance.
I probably am too. I'm not going to go through my YouTube suggestion and not play it.
I'm watching it, then I'm sending it to you, and you're watching it.
The strong side of me is I'm watching it. The real side of me is
exactly. So but that's kind of what I think there. I'm really amped up about it. Again, it's nice to have it back in JJ's hands. Like in a way, like I still have things that I like about Last Jedi, but in a way, in trilogies, I still am of the opinion that I wish one director for the entire trilogy. I don't like swapping directors because visions get muddled.
It's already hard enough for one person to make a cohesive story in a trilogy,
let
alone multiple. But I just now right after I watched that trailer the first time, I just imagine JJ sitting in a room like, he killed Snoke.
Yep.
The hell am I going to do? Bring back Palpatine? Yeah, sure. Why not?
Why not?
But honestly, if they do that, if they truly do that, and I would be shocked if they did, couldn't care less about Snoke.
Well, I would still like some explanation. I just think he was.
I want to focus on Palpatine. If he's going to be in it, I want him to be the leading.
I just think he was a tool, Palpatine's tool, as a part of the contingency plan. So let's move on because we've been yakking about that for a really long time. Let's talk about some of the other panels. The other big one, Mandalorian. Did you watch anything on that?
I haven't watched anything. I was going to wait till we talked about this. Oh my God,
you need to.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Oberyn. I didn't look at the cast on this one. Oberyn from Game of Thrones. I don't remember his name. Gina Carano, who kicks butt, a former MMA fighter. Mm-hmm. Carl Weathers. This cast is great. In the trailer,
Oberyn is the
he is the Mandalorian. It was funny because when he was in the panel, he was really dramatic in this. But anyway, so he was in the panel,
just like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna interview for a Star Wars movie." It's like, who do you want? You want to play this guy? It's like, no, you're the Mandalorian. And he just sort of like puts his head down on the table that they were sitting at. The trailer looked amazing. They actually played like scenes, not a trailer. They played scenes. So
is it gonna be set up as him rising to the role, or is he
No,
already
he-
established at this point?
No, he's a Mandalorian. He's a bounty hunter. Carl Weathers is like the guy who hands out the bounties, the pucks, as they call them, and he takes one off the books, kind of. So he walks into this room. This is why you have to watch this, because when I saw it, I was like, oh my God. So he walks in the room, and there's just these dirty, dirt-covered stormtroopers and an Imperial officer sitting at this desk. And he's going to send him on a mission. And like, you have to watch it. There's Gina Carano with a freaking heavy gun and everything going off. And it's got Bill Burr in it.
Why?
Bill, yeah, it was like the randomest thing. It's like, wait a minute, that's Bill Burr. So anyway, it looks really.
Can you tell what his role is based on the trailer?
They showed him like twice. Once he had like 2 hand pistols, and then like a little, I don't know, like a little
rocket
sentry.
thing, or...
No, it's like a sentry gun on his shoulder. You know, it's just like another laser, triple laser in people, I guess. So it looks fantastic. You do need to watch the trailer for that. And
I just wanted to. I'm gonna watch everything from Celebration, but I want to talk about it first.
I'm with you, but that amped me up because I wasn't sure. I'm not really a huge Mandalorian fan.
I never dived into the lore enough to really have an opinion, but
But
now I might have to. I might have to read all the books and all the lore on it.
This looks awesome, and the armor looks awesome. Like, it looks so much better than any Mandalorian armor on
That's like
film.
half of the TV show, honestly.
For sure.
It's just the armor. But when does it come out? I'm drawing a blank because I think we have a date, don't we? Or at least a month.
Stall.
Because I know we talked about this enough, and I remember saying...
I'm looking it up.
I feel like it might have
November
been
12th.
November? Okay.
So right around my birthday.
Cool.
So yep, November 12th. Let's see, what else did we have? Let's move on a little bit.
How was Hayden?
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there?
He wasn't there for a panel.
Really?
So if you want to jump to the episode 1 panel, just ask. It was
I kind of do.
It was disappointing, honestly.
Really?
Episode 1 has a special part for me because in 1999 I was like 11 or 12, and it was sort of my Star Wars, and I really enjoyed it, and I still love it to this day. They had Ian McDermott, they had Anthony Daniels, Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar, and Ray Park. So I'm not. The panel was the people that they got were fine, but it didn't.
No enthusiasm.
No, it was kind of flat. I think if Hayden got out there, I think people would have lost their minds. Ahmed Best got a great ovation because a lot of people dogged him too. Mm-hmm. But I think people received him pretty well.
Any word on why he didn't show up?
Hayden? Oh, I don't know. It might have not even been scheduled. I mean,
might have been a rumor.
Yeah, probably just a rumor. I mean, he was there signing, I think, at one point. But yeah, not at the episode 1 panel. That's who I expected to be there. Let's see. So what else? What else?
I mean, how was the interaction with the crowd?
I mean, it's not really an interaction with the crowd so much. It's just, it's a panel. Warwick Davis hosted a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. So, they asked some questions, and it was a lot of rehashy things. It wasn't really anything juicy. It was kind of like, it was nice to see him, but at the same token, that felt flat to me.
Yeah.
And I think the people that I talked to, it felt
like
flat
just
too.
Old show horses in a way.
Kind of. It was cool, but again,
I guess
it was
we
just
can't
kinda,
really expect a lot from it at this point.
Well,
hate to say it.
It is what it is. Yeah. So let's move on. Let's do a couple other ones. Clone Wars. Went saw a Clone Wars panel. Have never watched Clone Wars, but I was like, sure, let's go.
You gonna watch it now?
I think I might.
Excited?
I think I might. The trailer that they showed looked really cool. Following a little bit more into Ahsoka after she left the Order. Anakin gives her new lightsabers. They're white.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, I think I do need to go back and actually really watch. The only reason I never did is because the animation style put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But the trailer, it looked a lot smoother.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's today.
Yeah, it was a little jerky back in the day.
Dave Filoni, I love Dave Filoni. He is so hilarious up on stage for these things because they all pick at him, and you can tell he's one of those guys. He wears a big cowboy hat, but you can totally tell he's not that secure, and they pick at him. They all pick at him, especially the Clone Wars, because that was like kind of his big thing, you know, when he the first big thing really. And oh goodness, they were like so close to dropping hints. He's like, you guys better stop, I'll kill you. So that was a lot of fun. I think my new favorite person from this entire experience is Ashley Eckstein, who's the voice of Ahsoka. She probably is one of the most bubbly, just genuinely happy individuals I've ever seen.
Really?
I watched the Sisters of the Force panel that she did. Let's see, there was the voice of Padme, the voice of Hera. Oh my goodness, I can't remember everybody who was in there, but it was a really, really good panel. Just kind of, you know, honestly, that one, and I know a couple people I was there with. It kind of got to be a little bit of cry fest because they were talking about, you know, some of the fan interactions, and unfortunately, they all had like a fan with cancer.
Oh, really?
There was one, my God, that I think it was the voice actress of Hera, and the kid had beat cancer 4 separate times.
Wow.
And it was
How
like
old?
She
if you had to guess.
Like 13, 14, like a kid. And it was just it was that. So the panel got a little sad.
Yeah.
But it was really neat. You know, I'm not your old world chauvinist. You know, we can get out there and celebrate the ladies and so forth of Star Wars and still, you know, not have to feel emasculated about it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel emasculated by all the ladies of Star Wars?
No, I love the ladies of Star Wars.
One of my favorite characters right now is Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just great in Rogue One. So yeah, watch that one. What else did I go to? I went. There were a couple days where that's like literally all I did. It's pretty much me and Lindsay. We just became panel buddies. We just sat through panels all day. Shoot, I'm just. Maybe I'll sort back through my pictures because although I didn't take a lot of pictures, I took some pictures. Let's see, what else did I go to? Oh, the video game.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about
Fallen
That's
Order.
The only other trailer, so I kind of wanted to go through that.
I also went to the Galaxy's Edge panel. Okay, Fallen Order. No, the Galaxy's Edge looks sweet. So
we're gonna have to do a walkthrough of the whole thing for the channel.
Yeah, well, listen,
probably not allowed to.
Well, we'll talk about something here in a minute. Okay, talk about Fallen Order because this is more your bread and butter. But I gotta say, it's been a long time since I wanted to buy a video game.
You gonna pre-order it? Because I'm gonna pre-order
I'm gonna
it.
buy that game. Yeah. Talk about it.
Yeah. So the only other thing I really, I could not wait. Just could not wait to look into it. My God, this is going to be an amazing game. This is going to put Force Unleashed to shame. So you start out in this little. Are you pulling up the video as well as you walk?
No, just talk it up, man.
So you're going. You start out, this little hooded, maybe 18-year-old, 17-year-old kid. He's on a train with a lot of different creatures.
Former Padawan.
What's that? Didn't hear you.
Padawan.
Yeah.
Former Padawan.
But now he's at a bar, and probably can't drink yet, and stormtroopers are looking at him and whatnot, and it's definitely gonna be a grungy world that's set into. It's gonna be industrial. It kind of makes you wonder if it's another shipbuilding world.
Well, they were
the trailer.
They were. He was basically working at chopping up decommissioned ships. So that
so it's a scrapyard world.
Yes.
Okay.
Basically a scrapyard. Yeah. Oh, by the way, who's making it? EA and Respawn.
Yeah. Well,
it's cool.
Hopefully, it's going to be better than all the other EA games.
Well, it's not DICE.
Yeah.
So it's Respawn.
Well, I'm more worried about EA. So,
Well, but here's the thing. So
because EA does not have a good track record.
I cannot remember the actual like one of the front runner guys. Shoot. You see how professional we are.
By the way,
I'm trying to think.
Do
of
you
this guy's
recognize
name.
that staff there? Oh, hold on.
That-
Do you recognize that staff there?
Well, you want to talk about Purge Troopers? Holy crap, man!
bet there was a bunch of
They
those.
brought two of them out on stage in like full like cosplay armor. That nearly made me crap myself.
But that was and I'm drawing a blank on the droids, but Grievous's guards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. I can't wait to fight against one. That's gonna be awesome. I'm really hoping this is RPG style.
Well, here's the thing. So I was trying to find the name of the freaking guy because he was there at the last gaming convention. And I remember with
guy
the stupid
who's making it,
with the flute thing, and the girl was trying to, the host was trying to interview him.
Yeah.
It was like, we coming out with a game? Yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah, I didn't really want to talk
It's
about
going to be really cool. Well, he was up on stage and he said, first of all, single player,
Good.
story mode,
Good.
no multiplayer,
Good.
no microtransactions.
Good. Now, are you going
No pay to play.
Are you going to get to influence the story at all, or are you just going through it?
They didn't say that. I feel like it might be.
I'm really hoping it's an RPG.
Here's one thing that they did drop. This is RPG. So here's one thing they did drop. The lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
It changes.
Yeah.
In the first couple scenes, you saw him in hand-to-hand combat.
Uh-huh.
So I think he acquires it, and then I think you customize it.
Yeah. That's going to be... I hope that's...
It's going to be sweet.
I want it to be like a full chapter going and acquiring it, maybe getting your own Kyber crystal.
Why
and
not?
everything. Oh.
But yeah, I mean, you kind of saw the poster. It's kind of like chewed up at the end and everything. He also does have a little buddy droid.
Yep.
That is going to be a spotlight. He did drop that. One of the functions is it's going to be a spotlight.
Really?
So I get probably going to be some dark things. It'll be like flashlight functions. So that's cool. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been excited about a game. Very excited about this game.
The last time I was excited about a Star Wars game was the one that got canceled. And I'm 14 something. I can't remember the name of it.
You know better than I could ever possibly know on that.
Yeah.
So
I'm very excited for this game. Very excited.
So am I. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I also went to allergies, man.
You okay?
Whew. Also went to the what do they call it? Like Lucas. It was a publishing something. It was authors. So like Claudia Gray was there, Timothy Zahn, several authors. Also went to one of those, which was neat. A lot of new books coming out.
Good.
Obviously, we already talked Master Apprentice, Alphabet Squadron seems to be pretty cool. You know, Timothy Zahn was up there doing Timothy Zahn things. You know, Thrawn Alliances is coming out in like June or July or something like that or whatever. So a lot of cool books. That was really neat to see. Really enjoyed hearing from them. Gosh, I'm blanking. I don't know. I feel like I might have went to more, but that's really all I'm really recalling. It was such a blur.
You probably just had sensory overload by the last day.
I seriously did. They also had a room on the ground floor that was all the droids, like everybody who made droids.
Really?
So the coolest one though was, do you remember those processing droids on Mustafar in 3?
Yeah. Yep.
They had some guy
Really?
built one of those.
Really?
Oh yeah. They had everything in there, all types of R2s, BB-8s, all that sort of spin-off stuff.
Have a mouse droids.
Yeah. Oh, there are people controlling around the expo center. I mean, people rolling around BB-8s and R2s and stuff. That was a big part of the show. C-3POs, all that good stuff. There was just everything. There was every kind of droid in there. There was also one.
Did they have the droid from Rogue One?
Oh, K2SO?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, somebody did create one of those, and there was also one guy cosplaying as K2SO.
Nice.
On stilts. They also had this one. It was it was a retro like 1950s Frigidaire looking the seafoam green and chrome R2.
Nice.
That was kind of cool. It was a cool spin on things.
Did
So
they have
people got creative.
Lando's droid?
No, you know what they
Really?
didn't. L3. No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
That's surprising. That's one of the
You know,
most
I didn't even think about
flamboyant
it.
Droids too.
I didn't even think about it, but no, they didn't. They didn't have an L3.
That's a little disappointing.
A little bit.
Huh. So that would have been great. Did you get any pictures of that floor? All the droids on.
I was
mesmerized.
I was just
I get it. I
I was
didn't
enjoying
expect
myself.
any
I'm not a
pictures.
picture taker.
I'm
Well,
not either.
I can be, but I don't really think about it. So I was literally just enjoying my time, and I wasn't thinking about picture taking. I wasn't really thinking about much aside from just trying to enjoy a week with my buddies and new friends that I had made, and getting to experience what I thought was going to be like a once in a couple year thing, but 2020, Anaheim.
Yeah.
We don't have ticket release dates or the official date yet.
I'll be
2020
going for this one.
And unfortunately, yeah, you're going to have to sack up, and we'll have like 6 guys in a single bedroom and or whatever.
Bank that vacation time and don't
Get a
care if I
flight.
get fired. I don't really care.
Yeah, you need. I think it blew my mind, honestly. Like the entire experience, and the VIP stuff was really cool. Really, the VIP thing, what it consisted of for me was I didn't have to wait in line at panels. I just went in. There was a reserve section. I could get front row, and a lot of times if I was there early enough. And again, my panel buddy, she saved me seats sometimes so, when she could. So it was. I had some front row seat to some of that stuff, and it was really, really cool. I've got a ton of like giveaway crap too.
Yeah.
When you come up, you'll have
merch.
to the merch.
You'll have to do a tour video of all your merch.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That was the other thing. So part of the VIP package was a couple of things. So real nice, big, high gloss, high quality celebration poster with all the characters. You know, the dark side, light side theme that they were doing.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I was hoping to pick up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got that. Also had a numbered and signed print that came with that as well, and that was really neat. I was also supposed to get like a special lanyard and a patch, but they didn't have them. The funny story to that was not really funny. Apparently, somebody at the dock, the truck came in on Friday. Somebody at the dock said, "No, we're good. We got everything," and sent them away. So they thought they were going to get them by Monday. They didn't, so they're going to like mail that crap out to us. Custom program guide. They were literally selling this. It was like big and high gloss and all this heavy duty paper. They were selling that thing for like $30 just on itself on the floor. So free one of those.
Nice.
In the VIP room, they had like free coffee, free soda, free water just sitting in there. They actually had Coke. Everything there was Pepsi.
Really?
I don't really like Pepsi.
Yeah.
I want a Coke. But like a couple days there, they had Coke in there. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Because all the restaurants around there, all they had was Pepsi.
Really?
I just wanted a Coke. So I had to go in the VIP room a couple times, sit down and have a Coke. I also snuck in my buddy Ez and another guy we picked up along the way to do a podcast in the VIP room. It's like, just flip your badge and walk confidently. Because the whole thing is like all the VIPs were Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
The 5 days were Rey. I don't know. There were a couple of other characters and stuff. Like the vendors had somebody. I can't remember anymore. So yeah, that was Star Wars Celebration, man. It was a heck of a time. I had a lot of fun there,
I bet.
and met a lot of. Oh, you know what? God, I'm just remembering things left and right. So we were talking about that 5-way panel. Actually, it was a 6-way panel because the ladies from the Force Toast podcast came by too.
Really?
Yeah, they're hilarious. Their podcast they're just kind of getting running. I don't even know if they've had 10 episodes out, but they're actually extremely knowledgeable. They're very, very neat to listen to. So, cheap plugs for everybody else. Make sure you check out Rebel Watch. Make sure you check out Clashing Sabers. Sith Talk, which is a part of the Adapter Network. What did I say? Was that what I said earlier? The Adapter Network. Yeah. Rule of Two Podcast is cool guys from Texas, and then Force Toast Podcast. Those are 5 podcasts you get to listen to now, just because you should. And then obviously our podcast.
Yeah,
make sure you listen to us.
Yeah. Or before, preferably,
and then
before you get burned out on podcasts.
And then you can go to Facebook.com and look us up and like our page, and then do that, and then go to Patreon.
Get ready for all the Emperor memes. Did you see the one I posted about
champ?
Emperor's New Groove?
Oh yeah, I did. I like that one. That one was good. So, but yeah, that was, and you can also support us on Patreon too. We have her done with the Patreon series. If you want to support the channel, that's a good place to go. So anyway, what else? Anything else we would want to talk about in our celebration episode?
You're leading this one, so you tell me.
Oh, there's stuff that'll pop up. I don't know.
We'll be bringing this up for like 2 months straight. Every episode,
probably
you'll be talking about something new.
New celebration topic from a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really about it for celebration. I mean, there's obviously more stuff. I can't remember. It's a blur.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a video going in depth with every trailer as well in the following couple weeks.
Well,
now that we've had this talk, I can watch because I have all the videos from Celebration downloaded, waiting to go. So,
I think that's probably what we'll do in place of HoloNet, or just as HoloNet. We'll start dissecting a little bit during the normal podcast, and then continuing with the reread. But yeah, I also have some aspirations of maybe cutting in a couple of other books now, especially because we've got new books coming out.
I'd like to do Master and Apprentice.
I think it's kind of time. Yeah, I think it's kind of time to just get a few other things out there in the podcast as well. I love the new Jedi Order. We've got a lot to go, but there's a lot of new stuff right now.
We can't wait until we finish that to do everything else.
If we did, we're going to be 80.
Yeah.
And
finally, Master and Apprentice.
We'll have to start an entire...
Now Master and Apprentice is the equivalent of Jedi Order.
We'll have to start an entirely different podcast.
Yeah. We're on Star Wars Episode 25 now.
Yeah.
Still in the same saga.
Exactly. All right, guys. Well, there's a ton more to talk about, and we'll definitely talk about more as time goes by, but we're going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you very much for checking out our celebration recap. Hopefully, for any of you out there listening that went, man, hit us up. Tell me your stories. Maybe I bumped into you, knocked you down, punched you, robbed you. I don't know.
Stole your seat.
Bumped you out of your seat. Get out of here, boy.
Slapped your $7 hot dog out of your hand.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Yes. Oh, God, that food was so expensive. But anyway, thank you very much for stopping by. Hopefully you have a great rest of your week.
And as always, may the Force be with you.